started to notice a real change in your dog's behavior. Your dog now understands that yes marks the correct behavior. He understands how to follow a lure while remaining engaged with you. He can even lay down on request. Okay, before we move on, let's do a quick review. In the last video, we learned how to use the 3 Ds of doggy impulse control to have a bomb-proof stay. Now, your pup should be able to stay while you put his food on the floor. He should be able to stay when you walk away, even if you're gone for a couple of minutes. What are you going to learn in this lesson? In this lesson, we are going to teach your dog to leave it. Just think of your last walk. Was your dog interested in pulling towards some trash left on the ground? Maybe some goose poop? Or even a dead animal? These are scenarios where leave it is perfect. We'll need to use our marker word, yes, as well as the 3 Ds of doggy impulse control to ace this lesson. And of course, we're going to need lots of yummy treats. Okay, are you ready to get started? I sure am. Start this lesson by asking your dog to solve a mystery. The mystery is, how do I get a yummy treat from inside your closed hand? Your dog may try to answer this question by pawing at it, licking, nibbling, staring at your hand, or maybe even chewing on your fingers. What's the answer we're looking for? You guessed it, it's leave it. And it's going to be our job to help him solve the mystery. For step 1, you are going to have a bait hand and a reward hand. Your bait hand will just have 1 treat, and your reward hand should have at least 5 treats. You will never give your dog a treat from your bait hand. Present your bait in a closed hand to your dog at nose level or below. Watch your dog try and problem solve. Wait until your dog looks like he's given up on trying to steal the treat from you. The second he looks away or moves away from the treat, say yes. Then take a treat from your reward hand and treat your dog. Careful not to say leave it yet. Right now, the only word you should be saying is your marker word. You'll say yes each time he looks away from the bait. 1 treat per yes. Repeat until your dog does 5 correct on each hand. Next, for step 2, when we show our dog our bait hand, it will be open. If your dog goes to snatch the bait, just close your hand. If you move your hand around too much, it's going to make it really hard for your dog. Remember the nose magnet. The more you move your hand, the more the dog will want to follow your hand. So, keep your bait hand still when you present the treat in an open palm. When he looks away from the bait, say yes, and give your dog a treat from your reward hand. During this step, your dog may start to understand the game. This is a good thing. Some people may be tempted to try and trick their dog into going for the bait anyways. Remember, your job is to help your dog solve the mystery, so play fair. If you present your bait in an open hand and your dog doesn't try to steal it, say yes and give your dog a treat. He earned it. Once your dog does 5 of these correctly on each hand, check back with us and you'll be ready for step 3. Now, for step 3, we finally get to ask the cue word. During this step, it is important that you ask leave it only 1 time. This cue, leave it, is like asking a child, what's 9 times 9? Over and over again. It doesn't help them solve the problem any quicker. Keep this in mind while you're training. Your hint for your dog is closing your hand, not asking the question. Then, wait till he tries different behaviors to get the correct answer. When he gets it right, say yes. Okay, just like step 2, you'll present the bait in an open hand. But for this step, say leave it before you open your hand. Leave it. If your dog leaves it, say yes and reward with a treat. If your dog tries to steal it, just shut your hand and wait for your dog to look or move away from the hand. Practice Practice this until you can do 5 correct leave-its in a row where your dog doesn't try to steal the treat. What do I do when my dog solves this leave-it mystery? When your dog solves the leave-it mystery consistently, it's time to add difficulty. Remember the 3 Ds of doggy impulse control: distance, duration, distraction. Let's start with duration. Challenge your dog to leave it in an open hand longer and longer each time before rewarding it. For distance, practice having the bait closer and closer to the floor. Try doing 5 leave-its with the back of your hand to the floor. This will make it harder for your dog, so be ready to close your hand quickly if needed. For distraction, practice outside, in the yard, or around other people. The more that's going on around your dog, the harder this exercise will be. How often should you practice? Practice doing at least 3 sets of 15 leave-its a day. If you can sneak in a few extra sessions, you're sure to see even faster improvement. When should you practice? Practice leave-its throughout the day. Sometimes I like to accidentally drop a treat while walking around the house. Then, I'll tell my dog to leave it. That will teach your dog to check in before he rushes for what could be medicine or chocolate. Where is a good place to practice? For the first day or 2, you might only practice in the house or in the yard. As your dog starts to really understand it, you need to go places and practice. Practice while out on walks. Have the kids practice this one every single time they want to give your dog a treat. If your dog gets stuck or seems to have trouble with this cue, leave it at any point in time. Go back to step 1. They have brain farts just like we do. If they aren't performing it correctly, it may not be because they're stubborn. You might have to go practice more in a less distracting area. Go back, give them a reminder, or try using yummier treats. I'm sure you will be super impressed with your dog's progress after only a few sessions.